Sodom didn't just disappear, it evolved. Because the same mindset that destroyed it didn't stay in the past, it spread. And most people don't recognize it because it doesn't start as rebellion. It starts as something that feels normal, even harmless. But by the time you see it clearly, it's already taken root. After hearing about Sodom, most people ask the wrong question. They ask, what did they do wrong? But the better question is, how did they get there in the first place? Because no society wakes up one day and becomes Sodom. It happens in stages, small compromises, tiny shifts in thinking, slow rewiring of what is acceptable. And before anyone notices, the foundation is already cracked. It always starts the same way. What was once unthinkable becomes acceptable. Then it becomes common. Then it becomes defended. And finally, it becomes celebrated. That's the progression. Not instant collapse, but slow normalization. And here's the danger. When something becomes normal, it stops feeling dangerous, even if it still is. That's how deception works best. It doesn't feel like deception. It feels like culture. The next stage is quieter. Conviction fades, not because truth changed, but because people stopped listening to it. At first, there's resistance, then discomfort, then silence, and eventually, indifference. And once conviction is gone, people no longer fight what they should. They adjust to it. They coexist with it. And what used to be shocking becomes background noise. That's how Sodom's mindset spreads internally, not through force, but through silence. This is the most dangerous stage. When language starts to change, wrong becomes freedom. Truth becomes opinion. Correction becomes hate. And once words are redefined, reality follows. Because if you can rename something, you can excuse it. And once it's excused, it no longer feels like something that needs repentance. It just feels like life. But truth doesn't change just because language does. And that's where many people get trapped. Sodom didn't fall because it was shocked into judgment. It fell because nothing shocked it anymore. No conviction, no restraint, no fear of correction, just acceptance. And that's the warning for today. Because when a society loses the ability to be convicted, it loses its ability to turn back. Not because Yah stopped speaking, but because people stopped listening. So here's the real question. What are you calling normal that you used to question? What are you tolerating that you once resisted? Because Sodom's mindset doesn't arrive all at once. It arrives through agreement, small agreements that slowly shape your direction. But it can be stopped if you recognize it early, if you refuse to normalize what Yah never approved, if you choose truth even when it's uncomfortable. Because the goal isn't just to understand Sodom, it's to avoid becoming it. This is true gospel talk. Stay awake and stay set apart.